Welcome to the Global Transformation Channel. We invite guests from all over the world to share tips, traits, and stories that took them to the top. Our goal help you break limits and reach your peak. Guess what? You're about to be transformed. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to miss out on the next amazing speaker. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when we invite someone amazing. Tell a friend about this channel, like and share.
Evening, everybody. Good evening, wonderful people. If you can hear me, just say something in the comment section. So, today we have someone amazing, someone beautiful, someone wonderful. Her name is Veronica Aina. She's a licensed lawyer to practice in Nigeria. She's an analyst at the Bank of America. She's also the chief operating officer. If you're ready for her, just type I am ready. So, ready. Hello. Press us now. See light difference. Oh, that's great. That's great. So lots of wonderful people are saying they're excited to see you. Rachel, Flourish, Davis. And I'm excited to have you here. How do you feel tonight?
Great. I don't know if you can hear me clearly, but just confirm that I
I can now. I can now. I can now. I can
can.
hear you clearly now.
Great.
So how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Um,
Mhm.
I just had my dinner so that I can have energy to speak to you guys this evening. I'm super
All right.
like I'm really really excited to be here. Thank you, Vivian, for putting this together, and thanks to everyone. I can see your comments, and you guys are really giving me the vibe, and that's exactly what I want. So yeah, it's great to have me here, and it's great to have you
Yeah.
all here. Thank you.
We're honored to have you. So, Veronica, my first question is tell me about Veronica before you got to Bank of America, before the whole London. Tell me, who was Veronica then? What was your dreams? Just relate to us on that level.
So, Veronica, before London. So, fun fact before I answer the question, fun fact, I came to London exactly a week ago. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm in New London. And yeah, before I came to London, who was Veronica? Um, I was and still am a normal young person, just trying to, you know, just trying to make it in life, just trying to grab opportunities and just trying to make
Yeah.
sure that she has a good life, a better life than what I could see most people of my age have. And I think that's like what I really wanted. So I just wanted a really comfortable life. And I knew that I visualized the kind of life I wanted for myself. And I knew I had to achieve my goal. And prior to now, I was a student in University of Lagos. I studied law for 5 years in University of Lagos, graduated in 2019. And while I was in Unilag, I was a normal student, but a bit above average. And the reason I said I was
Okay.
a bit above average is because the average student probably just wants to pass their exams and just make it through to the next level and make sure that their CGPA is just good enough, so that they can graduate. But for me, I was aiming for the best grades when I was in university, and not just aiming for the best grades, but also trying to make sure that beyond my grades, I was relevant in the employment market. And so while I was in university, you would find me doing a lot of internships. Like I did a whole lot of internships. At some point, I did non internships. I did legal internships. I just wanted to like have as much experience as possible, and I also attended conferences, took courses that were outside of what I was required to do in school. I was just trying to like test the water in many areas to see what exactly impressed me. And I'm happy I did all those things because those things add up to the Veronica you guys see today. And I'm happy
Okay.
that I was able to like, go the extra mile and take opportunities and just like, do many things. So by the time I
Okay.
finished
So
university, I
yeah.
already done like 7 to 8 internships, and I then proceeded to law school. I did my law school for 1 year and got qualified as a lawyer. And then I did my NYSC. While I was in my NYSC, I did my internship at Bank of America and then landed my full time offer. So yeah, that's pretty much Veronica.
Said I can see that you're just a normal human being who wanted a life above the average. And
Yep.
there's something that caught my attention. You said you are a lawyer, and from my research, you're definitely a lawyer licensed to practice in Nigeria. So what gave you the confidence to pivot into Bank of America, into the financial industry? What was that sparkle for you?
So it's interesting, yeah. So when I was in university and while I was studying law, I did, like I mentioned while I was speaking, answering the first question, I said I did a lot of internships.
Yeah, sure.
And for me, those
Sorry.
were eye openers because it gave me an opportunity to see what it's like to work in the legal industry as a young person.
Okay.
And I was able to see like the different sides of it. So there are lawyers that don't go to court, and there are lawyers that go to court like every day. And there's so many things you can do as a lawyer actually. And I got to like have a feel of almost at least a good number of the different things you could do as a lawyer. But none of those things really got my interest. I was a good student, yeah, and I think I would have made a really good lawyer. But in terms of like fulfillment and in terms of the kind of life I wanted for myself, I didn't think law was going to cut it. And that was why I started looking outside of law. And it so happened that when I was in final year, I got to learn about the Bank of America opportunity. At the time, Bank of America came to Nigeria to like do an insight event to let us know about their company and how you can apply and the different divisions available in the company and how like you can be relevant to each division, what you needed to apply and all of those things. And for me, those things were just exciting. I found it very interesting and I wanted to be a part of it. So that was how I was like, okay, let me go for this opportunity. And I applied for the internship and I got it. So I didn't just apply randomly. I did my research actually to find out the division that interested me as a person. I also made sure that the division was something that was relevant to my legal background. So at the time I was applying, I applied to the compliance and operational risk. And I thought that as someone who studied law, compliance and operational risk was a good division for me because my knowledge of law would come in handy. So that was how I, went for the opportunity at Bank of America, and thankfully I got it, and that's how I found myself in London. So, I think Claire, we lost Claire for a bit, but I guess we can just like go ahead. So yeah, that was how like I pivoted from law to finance, but it was easy for me because I did it at a stage where it was like a baby stage where you can easily learn. So at the time when I did my internship, in fact, most of what I did during my internship were more of like learning, and the company is such a good company. They provide facilities for you to learn and for you to take advantage of the resources they have. They have like a whole resource bank that you can use to learn. They have courses you can take. So even if you're a novice in finance, they got you covered because they have everything that you need to learn. and that was exactly like what I used to like bring myself up to speed. And of course, before I even started my internship, I personally had done like some research and taking some courses that I thought would help me like understand the finance services industry and the investment banking industry as a whole. And I think that helped me. So because Claire is not here, and I'm sure she's really trying to join back. She already mentioned to me that she's gonna ask me like what are the steps that I took, and I'm very sure that you guys are wondering, okay, so how did you get the opportunity? Because that is exactly why we are all here. And I mean, title of this session is how to get your dream job. So how did I get my opportunity at Bank of America? So I already gave a brief so I just need you guys to like let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Okay, I can see some comments from YouTube. So yeah, I'm sure you guys can hear me. Great. Okay. It said network is bad, noise at my background. Okay. Hi Claire. So I was just trying to like hold the fort while you were away. And it says that someone says my network is bad. I don't think my network is bad though. Trust me, my network is bad. So maybe it's the person is bad. Okay, someone says they can hear me. They can hear me. Okay, great, great.
Okay, great.
So I'll just continue. So I was already addressing like the question of how I got into Bank of America because I feel like that's the question on everybody's mind. And someone
Exactly.
asked in the comment, yeah, and someone asked in the comment that was the internship remote. So I'm going to be answering the questions. So number one, how did I get the opportunity? Um, I I okay, I need to. It's a whole story. So the first thing I just stumbled on it. Like the first time I heard about it was just by chance. It wasn't like I was intentionally trying to apply to Bank of America. So I knew about Goldman Sachs, which is another investment bank here in London and all over the world that recruits from Nigeria and Africa generally. So I didn't know like exactly, you know, what companies were about. I just heard that can they can come to your country, employ you, and fly you to their country. Sorry, a plane is passing, so that's like the only background noise that I cannot control. So I just heard that they can fly you to your country, to their country, and then like employ you and like just give you a job. So that caught my ears, and like they'll pay you, of course, in their currency and all of that, you know. And I went to go and Google like how much they pay people like this, and I found out that it's a lot of money when I convert. So of course it caught my ear, and I have a friend. Her name is Bukola. She also like told me about the opportunity, and she was just like telling me how like you can get the opportunity with your undergraduate degree. So of course I really wanted to know like how like do I need to have a first class to get this? You know what do I need to do? And so they came to my school, that's Bank of America, came to my school, University of Lagos, and they had like an insight event. So at the event, they spoke about their company, what they do. They spoke about the different like divisions. When I say division, I mean like departments that are in the company. And so all of those stories were just fascinating to me. And they came with Africans that are working there. They didn't just come with like white people. They came with Africans who were working and living in Africa, who studied in Africa that got the opportunity, so that you know that they are not capping. So I saw these people, I met them. My friend was encouraging me to make sure that I follow them on LinkedIn and network with them. So we had the opportunity to ask them questions. They came all the way from London to University of Lagos, and like they made sure that they made students from other school participate. They paid for their transportation to come to University of Lagos. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. So they said their internship opportunity for that year, was 2019, was meant to open in August. So at the time, honestly, it was still kind of confusing to me. So I didn't apply that year. Like my friend was like, "Oh, we need to apply. We make sure we get this opportunity." But mentally, I was not even ready because first of all, I didn't really understand the whole thing. And secondly, I was like, I have law school the next year, so like if I apply for this thing and I have to go to London for the internship, like how would I do my law school? So it didn't just, it didn't register in my head very well. So I didn't apply that year, sha. So I kept doing my research. I kept following people who are working in the bank on LinkedIn. And I kept just staying curious, attending their insight events, both virtual. I remember that they had 2 days of events. The second day, the 2 days, I stopped classes, and honestly, I didn't care because for me, what I was going to learn from those insight events were more important than my classes at the time. Because I thought the information I'll get there, I can't catch up with it. I can't get it from anywhere again. But for my classes, I mean, I can always catch up on my classes or my lectures. So I always ask my classmates to explain. So I went ahead and I got the information I needed, and I was like, okay. So my friend applied that year. That's Bukola, and then she got it. So I was like, wow, this thing is real. That was when it don't.
It shows
This thing is
you.
real. Like, I think I shot my because why didn't I apply? We both went for this, both did everything, and then I not apply. So I decided that okay, next year, devil likes it or not, I must apply and I must get it. So that was how like I started applying. I started researching about the bank, researching about the internship, researching about the department I wanted, just trying to gather as much knowledge as possible, trying to like find out what do they ask in their interviews, what should I expect, how do I answer their essay, when is their next insight event, because I want to ask a lot of questions. I want them to notice me. I want them to know me even before I apply. I was really really gingered about it. So I started preparing. I took an online course just trying to understand the finance industry because I've always done legal internships before. I didn't know anything about like interning abroad, interning in a finance firm. I've never worked in a bank. So like I really wanted to understand as much as I could in preparation for August 2020, so that when the application opens like this, I'll just apply early. People already said that you have to apply early for opportunities like this, so I didn't want it to pass me by. So I applied come August 2020, actually it was September 2021, 2020 rather, I applied and I submitted two essays. You had to like write two essays and submit your CV. Then after submitting your CV and the two essays, then they'll give you like a video interview. So that video interview is like on demand. You have to like do it within 5 days, and the questions are pre-recorded. You're not going to have like a file interview with someone on the other side. The questions are there. Yeah, they're just going to time you. You record yourself answering the question and you submit it. And you had like only one chance at that interview. So I made sure I prepared really hard for the interview. That was even before I submitted my application for my essay and CV. I gave like as many people as possible to help me review, and I didn't just give just anybody. I gave people that were working in the bank to review my application. So you have to be really strategic about like how you go about these things because it is competitive. Trust me, it is very, very competitive. So that was how like I went about the whole like preparation. So after doing the first stage, which was like the essays, the two essays and my CV, and then the on-demand video that was required of me, when I submitted it, I knew that yes, I had done a really good job. So the next step was to make sure that I of course I had to wait, and the next step was basically the final rounds of interview. So like that one was like do or die affair. So like I had to make sure that I put in 100% in the interviews. So even when I didn't know whether I was going to make it through to the final stage, which were like different rounds of interviews and a case study, I was still preparing by faith. Like okay, I don't know, they've not gotten back to me, but
Yeah.
I kind of believed that I was going to make it through. And the reason I had faith was because I know I had done like a good job at the application stage. So that I didn't wait for them to call me for my interview before I started preparing for that interview. I started preparing
Yeah.
like lately for the interview, and I started asking people questions. I made sure that I did mock interviews with people. Even for like video interview that I did in the beginning. I did mock interviews just to be sure that yes, I was very prepared for this thing. And because you were going to be timed and you had just 30 seconds to like gather your thoughts. So you needed to bring your A game for that interview. And so like even preparing for that also helped me with my final interview prep. And besides, at the time, I also applied to Goldman Sachs. I applied for SEO Africa program. So like, it was a period where I was doing a lot of interviews. So when I did the when it was time for them to finally call me for the interview, I just got an email that it's time for your final rounds of interview. I was like, God, thank you. And so that was how like I started preparing for that one. I had like a few days to prepare for the interview. I had two rounds of interviews, one with two with like two people working with a division, and then one was like a case study to prepare for. And so for the case study, I had to make sure that I did a wonderful presentation on the case study they gave us, and of course the interviews I had prepared for any kind of question. Like there was no question they asked me at that interview that I was not prepared for. Like that was how seriously I took it. And thankfully, the period between like when I submitted my application and when like, they called me for interview was actually a long period, like more than like almost 2 months. So I had enough time to prepare. Like it was a long time. So I was ready for the interviews and I made sure that I came prepared, I came correct for the interview. And like after that day, which was a series of like interviews, that was like the final thing. I just had to wait. And 2 days later, they called me that, yay, congratulations, you got your offer. And I was super excited. And then I did my internship last year. And of course, that internship was what was going to determine whether you get a full time offer. So that was another round of proving yourself. And it was a 10-week internship, paid internship, the most rewarding internship I've done in my entire life. And of course, like, yeah, when I finished the internship, at the end of the internship, they let me know that I got a full time offer, which means that I get to work with them full time. And that was it. Like, that was how I got to London.
I see. I feel like the guest star, everybody's saying wow in the comments.
Yeah, I
That's
can.
amazing. Thank you for sharing the story. So, what steps would you advise someone that is looking for an internship or an opportunity in companies like Bank of America?
The question is what?
What steps would you advise someone to take? Someone that is looking for an opportunity like this one.
Okay, so you need to network aggressively. Like, if you want an opportunity in a company like this, you need to be very vocal about what you want. Let people know what you want because when they know your interest, they'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
So be vocal about interest. Let people know that okay, I'm interested in opportunities in finance, so that when they see opportunities like this, they would send it to you or something. And then you also need to like be prepared because it's not when application open. Some people have already started writing their essay down, the essay for that they will submit for when
Really?
application open. Some people have started preparing CV. Some people have started preparing for interviews. And so you that you're just there waiting and sleeping and waiting for somebody, whereas someone else is already preparing. So you need to be prepared. You need to network a lot. You need to network with people who have gotten the opportunity because they are the ones that know like how to go about it. They're the ones that know what you need to know, what you need to do before you can get the opportunity. So you need to be very, very, very alert and sharp. You also need to like prepare for interview questions, you don't need to have an interview coming up before you sharpen your interview skills. Interviewing is a skill, and trust me, I feel like in sometimes interview is an unfair process because it doesn't necessarily help you select the best candidates. And the reason I say that because it's about who prepares best for that interview. That's the person that will impress the interviewer. It's not really about the person that is truly the most qualified. And that's why you will see people who are not really good acing interviews. And the reason is because they know how to like interview questions. And so when it comes to interviews, I always say it's not a question of the smartest in the room. It's a question of the person that has the skills to convince the interviewer. And so for me, it's like I make sure that I come prepared, I come correct. Like I don't joke with my Hmm. I don't use at all. Like I make sure that I am prepared. Like, and you have to prepare to the point that you do not sound rehearsed, because there's a difference between being rehearsed and being prepared. If you are
Yeah.
rehearsed, you have your answers in your head, you just be pouring it out. Being prepared also covers your count in the interview. It covers where you will stay, where how your noise, your environment will be. It covers how you look straight into the camera while speaking. It's not just about what you're saying. It also covers the time, when to pause, when not to pause, the kind of questions you would have for your interviewers. Trust me, it's not on that day you start thinking questions. You have to prepare ahead of it. And so you need to like there's so many things involved in interview prep. We'll probably do a whole session things that you
Okay.
really cover like while get trying to get this opportunity. And thankfully, like the opportunities are now even becoming so much that if you want it, you actually get it. There's Bank of America, there's Saks, there's Palantir Technologies, there's Meta, there's JP Morgan, there is Bloomberg. There's so many companies right now from London, US, there's Microsoft that are coming to Nigeria to honestly,
Yeah.
if you want opportunities out there, you just need to position yourself strategically. LinkedIn is your best friend. LinkedIn is your so you need to use LinkedIn network to get inspiration from people and also to to community to ask questions because that's what you people are always announcing their job offers. That's not like asking people. It's a good opportunity for you to actually ask questions, find out how they so that you too can have the opportunity. Listen to growth podcast because we bring people on. But people have gotten this opportunity. About 3 weeks ago, I interviewed like three people who were from Nigeria. And these people didn't have to even go through an internship. They got a full-time offer from Nigeria, without doing any internship. Bloomberg flew them to London here. I met some of them. Like I met three of them actually when I landed. So you want to know like how did these people get it? And some of them did first class in uni. So it's not about first. It's not
It's not.
yeah. So I think that's what
So you mentioned that interview is a skill. So how do people get the skill of being the best at interviews?
there's only one trick: preparedness. Like prepare. When it comes to interview, you cannot be over prepared. That's the thing. You can't be over prepared. You need to keep preparing and preparing. I have a whole folder, and that folder is like it contains videos of me recording myself, answering interview questions. Like I need to even because like it's so large, it has taken up so much of what I don't because it feels very dear to my heart, and it shows me like the stages that I was like it shows me how I was not like how much I didn't know, and now where I am right now. So preparedness also covers like you doing mock interviews, you taking there's one interview to talk about, and that's like actually taking time to think. You see, if you can give yourself the gift of that time to think about your answers, you will come up with the best answers to your interview questions. And it's not something you do in one day. It's not something you do in 1 week. It's not something you do in 2 weeks. It takes a long time because there are thousands of interview questions out there. And there are some questions that require you to think up a scenario where you demonstrated a particular skill or something. And sometimes you've probably done that thing in the past, but you just cannot remember. And you need time. All you need is time to actually think about the times when you demonstrated those skills. Sometimes it comes to you like when you're sleeping, but the more you actually like have it in your subconscious that you need to prepare for this question, you need to prepare for this scenario, the more you just, start getting the into the whole interview vibe, honestly. So you need time to prepare. Now I'm going to tell you like how deep it was for me when it came to my interview prep. I opened a file on my laptop and I started typing out all the interview questions I could think of. And under each question, I started typing out my answers. I started typing out my answers, like down to the pause, like every single thing I would say. Now I wasn't typing it because I wanted to cram it. Because first of all, you can't cram what you're bringing out from your head. But I was typing it out so that like I could always refer to it and I could edit it and edit it and
Yeah.
edit. It was perfect in my own opinion. And that really helped me because if you are writing it on a paper, first of all, paper can get lost. But if it's in a folder in your laptop and you've like saved it on the clouds or somewhere in a very safe place, you can always refer back to it. Even in the future, even after you've used it, you can always refer to it to help yourself or to help someone else. And you can always keep editing it and editing it till you answer so nice that even you yourself you'll be proud of what you have. Now
Yeah.
one day came true. I had an impromptu interview with another company. And when I did the interview, when I was trying to prepare for it was very impromptu. So I reached out to like people on LinkedIn and I tried to get them to help me like do a mock interview for me. These are people I
Okay.
know and they responded. So I reached out to like I can't remember how many people, but I got 5 people that I have never met in my life. 5 people that I did not know from anywhere to do mock interviews for me. Now, when one of those 5 people, when it was time for our meeting, I set up a Zoom meeting for us to do the mock interview. She said something came up at work, so could not do that mock interview at the time. My interview was told me, by any chance, do you have your answers typed up somewhere? And I said yes. And she was like, okay, send it to me. But she was surprised because it's rare. Like, why would you type up your interview answers? So she probably thought I was capping that. How would I have my answers typed up? But I had like the answers to like the main questions typed up somewhere, and I sent like exactly how I would have said I would have said it. So she was like, since she's going to have a work meeting, she's just going to be like editing the answers for me while she's in the work meeting, since she will not be able to like have one-on-one conversation with me. And my interview was like the next morning. And I sent it to her. I sent her the document, and then she sent it back to me corrected within like a few like 1 hour. In 1 hour, I got back my document edited. Told me, oh, put this, say this way, don't say this way, and like that was how like she helped me with that interview prep. So like if I didn't have it typed up, I would have missed that opportunity because she would not have been able to like help me because I mean she didn't have the time to have a conversation with me. So my level of preparedness really helped me because I had like people who had watched my countenance, and then I had someone actually look at my answers, which I typed up and was able to review. So interview prep is honestly is a task. Like it is a whole job on its own. I don't even like I don't make it seem like it's a simple thing because it is not a simple thing, but it is something that you can do if you actually put your mind to it. Even the most unserious person, even the no not unserious actually, even the most shy person can shine at an interview if you put your mind to it and if you really want to like shine at that interview. No matter how shy you are, you actually come through if you're prepared. And honestly, at the end of the day, is the most prepared person. If you are more intelligent than me, but I have prepared very well, there's no way the interviewer will know that you are more intelligent than I am or you are better at the job than I am because I'm the one that is proving to the interviewer that I want this job basically. So that's why interview is not, you can't even joke with it. See, whether it's a video interview, whether it is like an in-person interview, whatever it is, whether it's virtual interview, you need to come correct. Let me tell you how seriously I took my interviews. So at the time I was doing my interviews, they were virtual. So I had the opportunity to be in my room and like do anything that I like basically just, you know, be myself. So I had a board in front of me, just like I'm having this conversation with you right now. I should now have a board just right in front of me. I'm sitting in front of my window now, but just imagine like on my window, I have like sticky notes on it, giving me prompters. Now, I'm not. It's not like I'm going to be reading from the window, but like those prompters are very good because I cannot forget the next thing I want to say because it's there on my laptop. Remember, I have the answers there, so which means
Yeah.
that if I switch tabs, they can't even know that I've switched tabs because just right there in front of me, they cannot know what is on my screen. So I could just easily, I cannot get stuck basically because the answer is there. All I need to do is probably just take a breath or like just pause and quickly find what I'm looking for on the laptop. So these were things that helped me. I had like a cup of coffee near me, and that was I felt like that was so important because sometimes interview prep or like the day before you might be very tired, you might have not been able to sleep well, so you need to have your energy, you need to be enthusiastic. You see, when it comes to international opportunities and job offers, enthusiasm plays a big role. They're going to pick someone that seems really enthusiastic over a random person that is just acting like, oh, I don't really care, like if I get it fine, if I don't get it, it's fine. They'll pick an enthusiastic person over a person that is just acting nonchalant about it. So that coffee helped me like bring my energy up. I made sure that before I started any interview, I listened to music that made me feel good about myself. Then I really liked this stand up for the chance. That song
Yeah.
just put me in mood, like it made me feel like I already got this, it made me feel really confident. Made sure that I had my coffee, I dressed very well. So you know how people just dress anyhow, they just make sure that they look good from here upward. I made sure that I was looking good from up to down. I wore heels for virtual.
Are you serious right now?
I wore heels for virtual interviews. That's how extra I was. And I had my
Okay.
prop me. I had my lighting. So like, and I made sure that my ring light was powered by a power bank. So even if they take lights, which God forbid it can't even happen because everything is just made sure that nothing was tied to whether or not there was electricity from NEPA because at the time I was in Nigeria. So these were just things that I made sure that I put in place. My room, I made sure it was quiet. I locked my door. I put a notice in front of my door. Do not disturb me. I have an interview. No matter what, even if it's an emergency, please do not knock or open or disturb me. Please, I beg you. Told all my family members. I had my internet and I had backup internet. So that time I didn't have like a spare Wi-Fi in the house, but like my dad's phone suffered from me because I have my own phone, but I'm also collecting my dad's phone to use his hotspot as a backup internet in case my village people come for my internet connection. Or like that's how
Yeah, it's important.
everything for every interview I had, I took all these measures and I even had a checklist of my measures in case I forgot anything. Oh, I forgot spare Wi-Fi. I quickly go and get it done. Oh, a cup of coffee, I get it. Like that's how I made sure my environment was quiet. I made sure my background was good, my lighting was good. When they see you said they're like, okay, this one didn't come to play. I didn't just carry my bare face. I made sure that I had makeup on. I looked serious, my hairstyle looked good. Yeah, that's how extra I was. Like I was very intentional about my interview preps. And that is the energy you want to take when you're applying for international job offers. Just imagine that 1,000 other people or like 2,000 other people are trying to get the same opportunity as you. So that's not the time for you to be slacking. You need to come correct.
Okay. This is a really good one. If there's a take home for me here, it will be get prepared. Make sure you have virtual interviews with people. Make sure you have your questions written down, not just in your head, and ensure that your environment is the best. So I have another question, still about you, Veronica. So I was, can you hear me? Okay, great. So I was stunned when I checked your profile. I also know that some people must have Googled you up as well, and they must have been amazed because you have such an amazing portfolio to start with. So I want to ask, how did you get such awards and certifications like Harvard Law certification? I mean, you were in Nigeria, so you were in Nigeria from Lagos. And how did you get Harvard Law certification? So I'm just curious. I know that people are too.
Yeah, so like if you check my LinkedIn, you guys should go and connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm very liberal there. Connect with me on LinkedIn and on Instagram, and yeah, that's a way for us to connect. And yeah, you see like the things she's talking about. So how did I get it? I got these certifications, some of them, many of them actually, when I was in university. And I was like I mentioned earlier, I was very, very, very curious. Like I just wanted to know what's the next big thing I can do in my life. What are people up to? I was always asking questions. I rolled with like people who were very serious with their life, and just tried to make sure that I didn't miss out on good opportunities. So I heard that there was a program called um Copyright X by Harvard Law School. And if you like, there was a center in our school where you had to go for like weekend classes with them and then write an exam. And if you pass the exam, you get certified from Harvard Law School. So I'm like, okay, you mean all I need to do is attend the classes, write the exam, and I'll get the certification? I just passed the exam out. On, bring it on. So yeah, it was demanding because at the time I was in final year, and if you're a law student, you know that final year is not beans. I mean, you have to like make sure that you pass all your exams, you have your projects, and at the time, intellectual property law was something that I was very interested in. So I just knew that if I had that Harvard certification, it will help my ambition in intellectual property law. So I just made sure that I was very like alert about it because I heard about it actually from someone who was like my senior, and he did it when he was in final year as well. So like I was just on the lookout for the opportunity when it comes up or when the classes start. So when the opportunity came, I kept disturbing one of my lecturers that was like in charge of it, because she was the one in charge of communication with Harvard. So I made sure I was disturbing her. Those of you that avoid your lecturers, and I think this is a good place for me to mention that. See, some of them are not monsters. Some of them actually want the best for you, and it's sometimes actually good to have a good relationship with them, especially when it's not going to harm you in any way. So I know that some relationships with lecturers should be avoided, but don't avoid like all your lecturers. You need to have like some lecturers in your corner actually, especially if they are nice. So that's just by the way. So it was this lecturer that kept disturbing that, Ma, please, oh, when you hear about this opportunity, please let me know. Please don't forget me. Oh, I really need to sign up for this thing and take the classes. Don't worry. If it's weekend, I won't go home during the weekend. I'll be coming for the classes. And don't worry. And I didn't miss any class, so like that's how serious I was. We had like I don't know how many classes, but it was quite a number of classes. And I didn't miss any of the classes. I kept like going for lectures, and then it was time to write the exam. The exam happened to be around the same time our school exam was. But I didn't care because this is Harvard we're talking about here. So I just what I did was that okay, I started preparing for that one, and then I said okay, if, the earlier I write this exam, the better for me, so that it won't clash my school exam. So I did the exam. It was an online exam, and I just made sure that I studied well so that I'll pass the exam once and I won't have to like, you know. So I just studied for the exam. Like it was like a back to back something for me. Like I remember that period. Like I just immersed one weekend like this throughout the weekend. Like I was just studying like a mad person and just making sure that that exam I passed it because the exam wasn't just like OBJ exam. You had to like write some essays and it was pretty intense. So I did it. I did everything, and I passed. I was like, I'm proud of myself. So yeah, I did that one, and I passed it. And for the World Bank course that I did as well, that one too, I found out about friend Bukola. I keep like you guys should actually follow Gradient, so you know more about Bukola and I, because like we
Yeah.
are friends. Where your friendship goes. Sorry about there's an airport close to my house, so like planes keep passing. But anyways,
Okay.
so what was I saying? So yeah, for the World Bank course, I just made sure that I um my friend told me about it. And I was like, oh, that's good. And it was around the time like I was trying to get like opportunities that can help me prove my case that I'm actually interested in finance. Remember, I said I had only done legal internships. Everything I had done previously were just legal. So it was good to have like finance related stuff on my CV, just to demonstrate my interest in finance. And I think that's a good tip for people that let's say they're interested in an industry different from what they studied. It's good that you have done some courses or just anything, attend conferences related to the area you're trying to switch into, because that is like a very good way for it to actually demonstrate that you're interested in that area. So don't shy away from, taking courses related to that area, because if you are saying you're interested in something, then you should have done one or two things that relate to that
Yeah.
thing. So the World Bank course was actually a good opportunity to demonstrate my interest in finance, and I took it. My friend really encouraged me because I really, really, really like pushed me and encouraged me to like do that course. And of course, I was happy to do it. So I did the first one. We passed it. That one, of course, you had to write exams as well. We had to pay for it to get the certificate. So we did it. We passed. And we saw another one. We're like, "Ah, let's pay for this one too now." And that's how we paid for the second one. So we did it. We passed the exams. And of course, up on LinkedIn.
That's the next thing, of course. So that is you should have good friends. That's really dance. Have friends that are aiming towards the same goal and have mentors, people that can actually get you where you want to be. Please provide these opportunities. Yeah, I said someone was asking. Can you hear me? I can't hear you right now. Okay, if you can hear us, please just type in the comments so I'll know that you're here. Okay, you can't hear me. Oh, Veronica, they can't hear you, but they can hear me. So I think you need to mute and unmute or something, or just leave and join the stream again. So if you're getting value tonight, just say something in the comments. Just type something. If you're getting value tonight, just say something in the comments so that we'll know that you're getting value. What have you learned so far? What process will you take? What steps will you take to achieve the goal that you want to achieve? For instance, you want to get a job in Bank of America, you want to get an opportunity internationally. What steps will you take to get that? So Veronica is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now better.
Sorry. In that Bukola was trying to call me, and I don't know why
Oh,
she was trying to call me, so I had to put my phone on do not disturb. And yeah, sorry
okay,
about
no problem. So someone asked, what's can you make a list or can you mention a few companies that actually get people to travel abroad and all that?
Okay, I already mentioned a few of them. I will just as they come to my head, I'll mention. So of course, number
Okay.
one company, Bank of America,
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs, Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg, Bloomberg, JP Morgan, Meta, that's Facebook, Morgan
Veronica, just type in
Stanley.
comment. Yeah.
Yeah, please let me know that you can hear me. Morgan Stanley,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Palantir Tech,
Mm-hmm.
what other
Okay.
companies? Palantir Tech, Morgan Stanley, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft too.
Yeah. I recently saw
What are that?
um, I recently saw a message that they're coming to Lagos to recruit people. If
No,
you really want, if anyone wants this
Ama-
opportunity.
that's
Oh yeah,
Amazon.
Amazon. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if anyone wants those
So
opportunity, they should follow this company.
Amazon. See, all the companies are coming to Africa now. Like you guys need to be. You see how people say that? Oh, there are no jobs. You're the one that are not looking. Oh, trust me, there are
They are
jobs.
not
Amazon,
there.
LinkedIn, Microsoft are getting these opportunities without having any foreign degree. So if they are getting it, that means you can get it. J.P. Morgan, Bloomberg, Morgan Stanley. She said the spelling, please. Spelling. I don't know. I could like that spelling Goldman Sachs. Goldman like Goldman Sachs. That's the spelling of Goldman Sachs. That Palantir is Palantir Technologies. Microsoft, you guys know how Microsoft. Google, Amazon. So yeah. Someone said they can't hear Veronica. I don't know. Thank you,
That was
Chi.
there. That was
Okay, I was
there.
like,
I think
okay.
yeah, that was there.
Thank you, Chidima, for helping me like write it out in the comments. So yeah. So these are the companies I can remember at the moment. But like there are a lot, and trust me, you just have to. Someone said Balenciaga. I don't know about Balenciaga. I mean about fashion companies, but I know like these tech companies, finance companies, they're aggressively recruiting. So because before it was just Bank of America and Goldman Sachs, but now like all the banks, JP Morgan is recruiting from Africa, Morgan Stanley is recruiting from Africa. Bloomberg is not a bank, but they work in tech and finance. They're recruiting aggressively, and like some of them, you don't even need to do internship again. You just have to do like you just have to apply for a full time job. I actually got an offer at Goldman Sachs, full time,
Wow.
but like that story for another day. But yeah, they are really recruiting and it's happening. I mean, look at me here. My location is London, and I do not agree. So yeah, it's very possible for you to get these opportunities, and that is like the aim of my podcast, the Growth Podcast. You guys should check it out on Apple,
Yeah,
Google,
now
Spotify.
every
Like you guys, all the juice is there, like how to get different companies. We've brought people from almost all these companies and we are bringing more. So you guys should absolutely go and check out that podcast.
it's on the screen right now. Visit Godian's website. You can get their
Oh,
podcast, their ebook, everything from there.
yeah.
They're just wonderful, wonderful people. Thank you. So I have another question. It is relating to Richard. I'm honored. I'm honored to be speaking to someone that was one time British High Commissioner for a day. I mean, the shoulder should be high. Okay, so tell us about the opportunity. Tell us how you got it, and what do you think you did differently to be selected as someone from Nigeria to be the British High Commissioner for a day? What did you do differently?
So this question is a very long question, but like I have a podcast, so I
Okay.
will say the short version here. I can go and listen to the long version on the growth
Mm-hmm.
podcast. But like, what did I do differently? So how did I get the opportunity first? On one fateful Wednesday evening, I was just scrolling through what status phone, stumbled on something posted that the British High Commission to Nigeria is organizing a competition for girls, and all you need to do is make a 1 minute video and talk about a climate action, a climate issue, and what you can do to solve the problem. A 1 minute
Yeah.
video, post it, tag them, and they will select the winner. So and you get to be the British High Commissioner for a day on International Women's Day. I'm like, wait. Is this a joke? Like this seems too easy. Like this is all I have. So I'm like, oh, bring it on. I'm interested. So I started thinking that this is a very good opportunity. Like I must get this thing. Like, and it now happened that it was around the time I actually had time to like actually go all in. So I went all in to prepare for that video. I started thinking, okay, I need to submit early so that my video people can have time to like watch my video. My video can get a lot of views and likes and all of those things. But that was not even my main focus. My main focus was making sure that I had value to offer. So I made sure that I like I thought about what I wanted to talk about. So there were so many climate issues. Trying to get the particular that I will talk about and like what I can do to solve the problem was actually a task. So it was now when I started working on it that I knew that as simple as it sounds, it's not that simple. So I started thinking about it. I started thinking about what to say. Sorry about the noise again. I was go to the airport. There's nothing I can say about it. So I started thinking of the in the video. I came up with a script. So by the time I came up with what to say, I now realized that I had like what to say is now more than 1 minute. And I started thinking about how to cut it down to one. I started thinking about how to make my video stand out because I thought that this thing is a serious competition, and so my video has to stand out. My solutions have to be apt. My everything has to be on point. So my focus was making sure that everything was on point, everything was good, and I wanted to submit early, like as early as possible. I wanted to be like, if possible, the first person to submit. But by the time I checked on Instagram, I saw that one person had already submitted. So I was like, okay, one person has submitted, but like I can be the second person to submit here. So like when I made the video, I edited it. I needed to like learn how to remove background noise from videos. I had to learn how to do that. I needed to learn how to like put like um video in video, how to make the video look good, basically edit the video properly. I learned all those things. I did it by myself. You can go and check the video on my Instagram page. My Instagram handle is very I know. So like I did that. I did the video, and then I sent it to my friends to like help me review it to be sure that okay the video is actually good standard, because sometimes you can do something you think is good, but then you just look at it and be like, "Mm-mm, this one you can't post it." So I posted it on my Instagram page, and people, people said really liking, sharing, all of those things. People were like, "Yo, your video is really really good. Like you stand a chance to win this competition." I'm like, I really do." So like, at the time I submitted, like, okay, it was beyond my control. It was on my own part. But I really got a lot of support from my friends, like in terms of like sharing my video and reposting it and all of those. Now, I need to actually mention that the number of likes and views the video got did not matter in winning the competition. It wasn't based on like views and all of those. But people shared and posted my video because they thought that the video was really good. So I just wanted to make sure that that competition, whether it was based on whether it was based on content, I wanted to make sure that I checked all the boxes. So, based on what I could do with the skills I had at the time, I did my best. Like, I exhausted everything, all my resources on that. I didn't sleep for like 2 days because I wanted to make that video. I edited it to perfection based on the knowledge I had on video. So like I really really put in 100% into that thing, and that was how like after some days, it was like 10 days, because I was really tracking that thing, making sure that oh god, this competition should be over already because I'm tired. And one fateful Thursday morning, I got a text from the UK Nigeria account on Instagram that Veronica, please send us your phone number. I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. And so I sent them my phone number. Then they called me to tell me that I won the competition. So I get to be the British High Commissioner for a day. So I think what I did differently in the whole thing was that I took it seriously. I submitted early. The fact that I submitted early really helped me because towards the end of the competition, people were now submitting and submitting and submitting and posting their entries. But it was like, oh, where were you guys all this while? It was like, oh, they just, last minute syndrome. Like, oh, I want to do this thing, but you've been procrastinating. So I did not procrastinate. In the moment I saw the thing, I made my decision. I wanted to do this competition, and I wanted to submit. Like, in fact, I wanted to submit the next day. But by the time I realized how much work I needed to put in, I had to submit like after 2 days. But I still was the second person. You can imagine that even after giving it 2 days, I still was the second person to submit. So like people now submitting aggressively, like when the competition was almost over. So the fact that I submitted early helped me, and also the fact that I put in my best that video to make sure that it was my actual best effort. So yeah, those were the two things that helped me. So if you want to participate in a competition like that, just make sure that you put in your best, such that even if you don't win, you know that there's nothing you could have done differently. There's nothing you could have done better than what you did already.
Sure. So put in your best and ensure that the video is quality and make sure you review it and submit on time. I think
Mhm.
that's the best. Yeah. Thank you for that. So
Yeah.
what uh what would you say was your or is your biggest lesson from your journey so far, from being a girl without any recognition, any award, any certification, to all you've achieved now? What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
So I think the best thing would be that not yourself to others. So a lot of us actually have the tendency to compare ourselves to others, compare ourselves to
Yeah.
our classmates, peers, oh, compare ourselves to our age mate. Oh, this person is my age mate. Look what this person has achieved. Oh, this person is my age mate. And our parents kind of feel that kind of mentality because they
True.
also compare us with people. They say, oh, is this person not your mate? Do they have two heads and things like that? But we need to understand that we're on different journeys. And of course, it was over time, with time, I actually realized that not two people have the same journey. So the fact that you have achieved this much at this age doesn't mean that you are gonna forever be better than everybody else. So you need to just understand that you're on your own journey and this person is on their own journey. And that's something I also like apply in everything. So even in terms of like jobs, see, not everybody can get Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Bloomberg, Facebook. Not everybody will be a tech bro. Not everybody will be like, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can work in corporate. Some people are just gonna be like something very unique, and that's it. Like for example, yesterday I was in a conference and I was listening to one of the leaders in the World Meteorological Organization, and I was just thinking that imagine someone studying climatology in a year like this, like you just seem like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you studying climatology? But this is someone that's actually working with World Meteorological Organization, which is under the United Nations. Now that's something very unique that so many people will not think of. But that is some people's calling. Like some people's calling is to actually go and work in organizations like that. But because like there's this craze, oh, I want to be an influencer, I want to be a TikToker, I want to be a tech bro, I want to be this. So you now start thinking, oh, if you're not in that line, then you're not serious or something. But it's not always like that. Some people are going to pursue international policy. Some people are going to pursue like really random things that are not common. And it's fine, like because we are on different journeys. See, some people are going to be pastors, and it's fine.
True.
Yeah, like you are called to be a pastor, really where you need to be, and it is totally fine. You just have to recognize what is your calling. See, these days a lot of people are YouTubers. Not everybody has to be a YouTuber because you're good at something. You have to like monetize thing or like build a career around that thing. But like I think for our generation, it's still really hard for us to understand that you don't have to like make money off every skill you have. You don't have to like be like every other person. Just be your own person, and it will align for you. Like just be your person. If everybody is doing something this way, it doesn't mean you have to do it this way. Just find your calling, find what is yours, and go for it.
Okay. So some of the advice you've given so far, and thank you so much. These are amazing tips. I don't think we can find it anywhere else, especially the parts where you said find your calling and stick with it. I mean, distractions are everywhere, every day, and it's hard to not compare. But comparison kills faster than anything. Just find your calling and
Mhm.
brand it. It.
And put in your best and girl, boy, you got the world. Like
Yeah, it's going to
that's
work.
a simple idea. So I don't know how much time we have, but like I have a small story that might actually like help someone. You know, I was in
Okay.
final university, an idea just came to my head because like I noticed that students. I went to Unilag, and Unilag is the school where you have like the highest number of slay queens in Nigeria. I give it your
Okay. That's not true though, but okay.
is that like, people wanted to like slay, but they didn't have the means. Like they didn't exactly have enough money to fund the lifestyle that they really wanted. So an idea came to me that when it comes to dinners, girls really want to go all out. But after that dinner, when they wear the dress and they slay and they post on Instagram, that's it. Like that's the end. So an idea came to me that why not set up a business where people rent out dinner dresses that they've used and like other students can like rent their dresses, and so that dress that's just sitting in your wardrobe, you can make money off it, and like you can someone that cannot afford a dress of let's say 100K can rent it at a cheaper price. And that was just one idea I had, and I was like, okay, I thought I created a system on how it would work. I was a lawyer. I mean, I was a law student. Sorry. So like I made sure that everything was settled, and so that was how like I actually created a business out of that, and I started renting dinner dresses. Now up till today, when I think about what I did, like I did a thing there because that business was a successful business. I actually like created a system where people could rent out their dresses, how to get the dress, how to make sure that people's dresses. And people were coming to me for business. People were paying me. I was getting my commission. The owners of the dresses were getting their commission. And you know the fun thing, I wasn't really
Yeah.
doing I wasn't doing my phone was just like handling things on my phone. The people that were like picking up the dresses and delivering it wasn't me. I wasn't in charge of that. Sometimes I didn't even see a dress like without before it even gets to the person. Like that was how good my system worked. So like I just made sure that I limited it to like my school environment so like I could control it. But that's something that I really cashed out of. And up till today, I'm like, wow, that's a really good thing that I did there. So imagine that I now decide today that I want to take that business idea to the next level. And imagine like the level of the amount of slave queens that are in Lagos, Nigeria, and how many people really like actually go for OM, go for parties, dinners, award shows, and they don't like use those dresses again. And people can rent those dresses. Just imagine how much money I would actually make just like that. Like I would actually even make way more money than I'm even making working at Bank of America. So there are opportunities, there are ideas out there. You just have to like find the one that is your own and do it. Honestly.
Find the one that's yours and do it. That's really important. Thank you so much for today. I just have one question, one last question, and it's really dear to my heart. What does transformation mean to you?
So I think about transformation the way I think of growth. And interestingly, the question of what does growth mean that I'm just gonna pause so that the plane can pass.
If I can still
Okay,
hear you clearly, though.
the noise is
Yeah.
stopping me. Yeah. Okay, so what does growth mean? So I think about transformation as the way I think about growth. And for me, transformation is basically um when I look at myself yesterday, the person I was yesterday, and I look at the person that I am today, and I see that there's a huge
Yeah.
difference. So I tell myself I've grown. So if I look at who I was last year, it could be last week, it could be not yesterday literally, but look at my younger self basically, and I see that okay, this version of myself is a better version of that Veronica of 2 years ago, last year, Veronica of 2 years ago. Then I tell myself I have grown and I have transformed. And so whenever there's positive impact in any way, and of course, like it could be financial, physically, it could be spiritually, it could be in terms of like my wisdom, it could be in any area of my life, honestly, in terms of the amount of knowledge I have, in terms of how much lives I've touched. If I can see and if I notice the difference in the person that I was and person that I am now, then I'll tell myself I have grown and I have transformed.
I feel like that's the best definition ever. Just saying the difference between where you are now and where you were yesterday. It's really personal. It's not the difference between where you are and where the other person is. It's just
Yep,
about your growth.
yep.
No comparison here. Just you. That's really wonderful. And from what you said tonight, there's something I took home, or I'm going to take home, is that these opportunities are out there. You only need to be on the know, follow people that know it, and reach out to companies, follow them. Just just know that it's normal people. I mean, Veronica is a normal person. Do you have two heads? No. So it's normal people that get these opportunities. So just look out for those opportunities and ensure you're prepared before time and apply. A question just popped on my head right now, and it's, what skills got you to the job and what skills have kept you in the job?
Okay, that's a really good one actually. So some of the skills that I'm just gonna like list as many as I can remember. So you see, those soft skills, they're so important because for the technical skills, you can learn them on the job. So trust me, I don't know much. You see, I'm resuming work on Monday, and the first 2 weeks is gonna be training. And even before I resumed, I they have sent me like so many materials to learn and to read and learn. That just goes to show that on the technical side, they got you covered. But for your soft skills, they there's little they can do about that. And when I say soft skills, I mean your team playing skills, your communication skills, your leadership skills, you know, your presentation skills, your
Yeah.
networking skills. These skills were working through for me. Something as simple as how to send someone a message on LinkedIn. Something I don't know before. Now, see, I'm going to give you guys a story, and I'm going to share this story because Vivian is the person involved. Now, the reason why it was so easy for me to like click with Vivian, trust me, like I get a lot of requests like every time. But there was something Vivian did that was actually really, really remarkable. When she reached out to me on LinkedIn, she not like we had a conversation, but like that wasn't even what stood out for me. There was a day I made a post on LinkedIn related to my podcast, and like I just like I actually just attached the images in a very scattered way, and then Vivian told me that the way I can do it, that why not put everything together and post it. And I didn't think about that before. Like I just made the post. Vivian didn't stop her suggesting, she did it, and that really is like got me like, wow. So if Vivian had been trying to get my attention or get my time before that, I would have immediately given her my attention and my time. And that was like she just what she did was a very small thing, or she might see that, but it meant a lot to me because she offered value. And so when you approach people, don't just come as a leech. Come as someone that has something to offer. Come as someone that is willing to learn. So just come correct when you're approaching people. And so if you have the good networking skills, you will be able to like build your other skills because through your networking skills, you build your communication skills, you build your
Yeah.
interviewing skills, you build other skills. Networking skills is so important because it also helps with your team playing skills. You need to be a very good team player. You need to be able to you need to be very adaptable. You need to be learn easily. So someone that is very willing to learn, it's so important. So these are like important soft skills that I know that they stood out for me. Your leadership skills too. You see that class rep role that you think is not important, you don't know the day it will come true for you, because as a student they don't expect so much from you. But those little things, your customer service skills, you see, you're helping your mom as a sales girl and you think that you don't have sales experience. That is your sales experience, trust me. So as a student, they don't expect much from you. But how you can brand and package the little experiences you have is so important. And that was one of the reasons why I said your interviewing skills is not something you just sit down one day and say, let me, today is for brushing me, for brushing up my interview skill. No, you need time to actually, think about the things you've done in the past and how you can sell it and package it in a way that when they hear itself, they'll think it's way more than what you actually did. Your CV skills is not today that you will sit down and just write your CV. It's not in one day. Trust me. Your writing skills, your whether it's email, whether it's essay writing, these are skills that you need to actually take time to build. Your communication skills, whether verbal, written communication, they are so important, because when you are trying to get opportunities like this, you have to speak with people who are not Africans, and they need to be able to you need to be able to prove yourself. Yes, you studied in Africa, but you are just as good as anybody that went to Harvard, that went to Oxford. You are good and you are worth them, spending all that money. Because for them to actually like sponsor you to their country, they're going to spend a lot of money. You need to prove to them that, yes, you deserve it. You need to also show your organizational skills. So, like, there's so many skills, but these are the ones that come to mind. And of course, on the job, all these skills do come to play, because these are companies that they work in teams. You cannot work in isolation like this. You need to work in teams. You need to make sure that you're a good team player. Like, it's so important. You need to always demonstrate that you're a good team player. And of course, if you are trying to apply to a tech role, then you need to make sure that the tech your the technical aspect, you're good at it. Whether whatever programming language they ask you, like they require of you, you're good at it. Do not lie. People lie a lot on their CVs. They lie about their skills, their languages. Do not lie. Just say what you know, honestly, and because they'll place you based on like the skills you have. And honestly, if you want something but they feel like you're better suited to another part of their company, they'll actually recommend you to that part of the company. And that can even benefit you. So it's better for you to just come, be your authentic self, and demonstrate the skills you actually have. Don't lie about your skills. Don't lie on your CV. Don't lie that you did something when you know you did not do it. Don't lie about the projects you worked on. Find a way to brand yourself properly and package the projects that you've worked on in the past to show them that yes, you have value to offer. So yeah, I think these are the important skills for opportunities like this. So I think your microphone is muted, Vivian. I can't. Okay.
Like everybody should watch this live section again because there's so much, especially the skills you've mentioned and the lesson and the story. I did not know that many.
Yeah, because I actually had a conversation with my brother on that thing. Because like someone else messaged me the same time,
Okay.
and this is something I did not know from anywhere. And the person was sending me a voice note on LinkedIn, and I felt that was not appropriate because I don't know you. Like I don't have a. I feel like voice notes are exclusive to friends. You should only send a
Okay.
voice note to someone that is your friend. I don't know you from anywhere. I've never met you, and you're sending me a voice note. Like I just felt like, I mean, I was just having the conversation with my brother that see this person that sent me a voice note and see this person that had value to offer. Who would I attend to? Who would I reply first? Obviously, the person that came with value to offer me. And these are just little skills. And to learn more about like reaching out to people on LinkedIn and just networking with people generally, Bukola and I have put together an ebook which is free. So all you need to do is to go to our website www.grodian.com. You find the ebook there, download it for free, and read it and practice. You'll see like all the tips you need for networking and cold emailing people there. So I'm
Yeah, I actually read the book, so I can recommend it for
see,
the book.
and it's free.
You can get it on the
You don't have
website.
things to gain from you reading it, but it will help you. Trust me.
tip from there, by the way. So it's really good.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to someone, you should just try to add value, reach
See,
out to
even if
others. Okay,
honestly, it's
go
not
on.
every time you add, but even if you don't have value to add, just make sure that you are very respectful, but you're not overdoing it. Because when it comes to being respectful, people overdo it. Yeah, you see people saying "ma, ma, ma, ma," hello, ma, good evening, ma.
Oh,
I just want to
wow.
like I'm not. I'm probably you're probably older than me, Seth. So like, I beg, it's not by ma. You just have to like go straight to the point. Let them know exactly what you're there for, and try to um so someone is asking for the website. Yeah, that's the website, www.brilliance.com. So just try to like be very respectful in the way you approach the person. Go straight to the point. Don't text someone for the first time. Just say hi and expect the person to carry on the conversation. I promise you, I will not reply you if you just say hi. I'll reply someone else that comes to me and says, "Hi Veronica, I met you at the session. I just attended the session you handled with Vivian, and I got value from it. These are some of the things I learned." Or you make a post on LinkedIn about it and you tag me. Obviously, I'm gonna see that post and I'll notice you. So little things like that will make people notice you are good. Don't just come to people's DM and start making requests. Hello, good evening. I want you to be my mentor. Bro, I promise you that message is going to go unread because I will never reply such a message. Like, I don't know you from anywhere. You're telling me to be your mentor. Excuse me. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I've met someone that actually came and said, I know you're very busy, but like I don't mind paying you to be my mentor. How about 30K for like 1 hour of your time? And I'm like, who is this person? What is my problem? Like, why do you think if you tell me you pay me, I would answer you? That's so yeah, you need to actually be very careful how you approach people. For me, you see, mentioning that you will pay me 30K for 1 hour of my time was just so disgusting. Like, why do you even think that an hour is worth just 30K? Like, what? You don't even rate me. So like, you really need to be mindful of how you reach out to people, and it plays an important role because, for example, someone like Vivian now, if she needs, I'll be very happy to like help her, even if I'm very busy, because this is someone that has offered value to point, and she always comes correct. She's always prepared. She has the questions ready. The first time I had a, the first time I had a cold chat with her, like I didn't know her before, just had a call. She came correct. She came with questions. She didn't just come hoping that I'll just come and be talking. She had the questions prepared. She was mindful of my time and very respectful. She set up the call. She didn't expect me to set up the call. She didn't expect me, or she didn't like set up the call and then leave me hanging. Some people have done it to me in the past. Set up a call and then I'll get them. And I'm like, what's you know so you need to make sure that your internet is good. Just little things like that, let the person have a really good impression of you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Ma, and thank you,
No
Veronica.
problem.
Everybody definitely got value. I feel like we shouldn't
Yeah,
share too much so that so that they
I
don't
mean,
get information from the. Okay,
yeah, nothing.
what did you
I've been
say?
seeing comments on like on the comment section. I
Yeah,
can read people are really saying amazing things. Thank you guys. I see your comments. I love you too.
thank you once again. I think that's all. Do you have any last words for people listening?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say again, but like just just take things easy with yourself. And there's an opportunity out there for everyone, like I said. So not everyone will get into finance. Not everyone is interested in finance. Not everyone work in tech. So it's okay if you really just want to be, I don't know, whatever you want to be. It's okay if you even want to pursue politics. In an age like this, politics seems like something dirty. But I mean, follow your. Now, when I tell people that I'm currently attending a climate action conference, they'll usually wonder that what are you looking for in climate action? You're already working in finance, but for me, I just take up opportunities as they come because the day I was British High Commissioner for a day, I promise you, it wasn't something I planned, like I premeditated, but it happened because I
Yeah,
took up opportunities. So when you see opportunities, my dear, grab them, just keep grabbing them. And who knows, that's how you find your niche, especially if you're a young person. Don't box yourself. A lot of young people box themselves. You see someone like 60-year old telling you, oh, they're so sure they want to do it. I mean, you only know your interests are only limited to your knowledge. And so
true.
the more knowledge you have, the more you evolve. And so it's okay for you to be interested in one thing today and interested in another thing tomorrow. Totally fine. And yeah, just go for it when it comes. But make sure that whatever you choose to do, you do it well.
Yeah,
Even
do it.
if you're gonna change your mind tomorrow, whatever you find your hand doing today, do that thing really well. Put in your best in it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. And I listened to your podcast, and you mentioned something where someone who was a sales boy actually got an opportunity in, I think, Bank of America or Goldman Sachs. And I was like, wow, if people can use this little skill, even if it's volunteering, even if it's as insignificant as that, I think you should just do what you're doing, do it excellent, and be proud of your experience. That really makes lots of sense.
Yeah,
Thank
100.
you again. Thank you again. You've always been wonderful. Your podcast is top notch. I listen to it as much as I can. Your website is beautiful. Your ebook is in my library. Your YouTube channel is my favorite channel on YouTube, and your LinkedIn profile is my friend. Your Instagram story, I love that place a whole lot because you always share
You guys should
opportunities.
follow me on Instagram because
Follow her
I'm going
everywhere.
to give you content and I'll be sharing on for my life is just going to be fun from now on. Like, and as we are having fun, we're also helping people grow and become the best versions of themselves. And I mean, when you're in your 20s, what else should you be doing? So follow me on Instagram.
But all right, that's all for now. Have a
Yeah.
lovely night, everyone, and thanks for the chat again, Veronica.
Bye. Thank you.